Hello and welcome to the Dream Team Professor podcast. My name is Scott and this is another World Cup matchday recap where we just take a look at the top point scorers of the day, any key talking points, and then we'll go on to looking at a preview of tomorrow's fixtures, so the best players to potentially target and transfer into your team. And then I'll just finish up by going over my vlog team, just looking at the points that I've scored and which transfers I might look to make. So let's get started. First, we had Switzerland's 1-0 win against Cameroon, and Jan Sommer, the keeper, got a star man in this one. You had Xherdan Shaqiri got assist, but he didn't manage to get a rating. We said about him yesterday because he takes pretty much all their set pieces and corners. It was actually a cross that he got the assist from, and that was to Mbolo. He actually didn't celebrate because he's actually from Cameroon but plays for Switzerland. He got 6.9 rating, which is really unlucky. But we did highlight him as well. He was 3.5 million, so quite a cheaper striker. And he was close. It was quite close to repeating again. There was a cross from Shaqiri that Mbolo almost put in as well, so it could have been the same again. But no rating for either of them, but they got the assist and the goal. Granit Xhaka got a 6.9 rating, so again really close. Quite a lot of 6.9s. Akanji from Man City, and obviously Rodriguez, who's the left back that we said about taking penalties. Neither of them got the 7 rating, but they did get 5 points for the clean sheet. And then last note that I put really is that I thought Cameroon looked pretty good actually. I wasn't sure how they were going to perform, and looking back, they hadn't historically done very well, but they had quite a good lineup out, to be honest. And they were a bit better than I expected. Then we had Uruguay versus Korea. Didn't get to watch this one, but listened to it on TalkSport, but didn't sound very eventful. So you had Diego Godin got star man, and he hit the post with a header actually as well, so that probably contributed to the rating. So 13 points for him and a 7.9 rating. I think it's Rocher who's their goalkeeper. He got 5 points, and he's quite a good option because he's only 2 million. So to play for a team like Uruguay in goal and be 2 million is pretty good value. You have also got the Netherlands keeper that's 2 million as well, if you are looking to have that cheaper option in goal. And then Oliveira, I just highlighted. He's a fullback that plays for Uruguay. He only costs 3 million. He got a rating in this game, so 8 points in total, and the rating was 7.6 that he got. But 3 million, he could be quite good value as well. It wasn't someone I was aware of, but when I clicked on him on Who Scored, he plays for Napoli, and he's got 1 goal and 2 assists this season. So didn't really deliver too much in this game, but he could potentially maybe chip in with some attacking returns as well. And Valverde, so we did think that he might play a bit more attacking, and he seemed to get forward a little bit. He did hit the post actually with a really good shot, and he got the rating in this game. Bentancur got the rating as well, playing in midfield. But nothing from the Uruguay forwards that was a bit disappointing. And they have got some firepower up there really. So it's Suarez and Darwin Núñez started that game, but neither of them really done anything. Watching the highlights, I saw that Núñez had a couple pop shots, but yeah, nothing really. And then I thought as well that looking at that, the games coming up, Portugal and Ghana both did concede, so maybe there could be some chances for maybe Núñez or Suarez in that one, but I don't think they impressed me enough to want to bring them in. And then the last thing that I just put down as well, that there was nothing for Son, who's obviously playing for Korea. Did look pretty badass in his mask though, but yeah, nothing for him. And then on to the Portugal-Ghana game, which was probably one of the more eventful games of the evening, or of the day, sorry. But Starman went to Bruno Fernandes, 4.5 million. And again, I just thought that 4.5 million looked like really good value for him. And yeah, he delivered. He did get a yellow card, which dropped him a point, but he finished up on 11 points in total. So 2 assists and a 7.9 rating. The first goal was actually from Ronaldo, so yeah, that was quite a good one, but from the penalty spot. I didn't think he looked fantastic throughout the game, but bagging a penalty is always a good option. When you choose those penalty takers, you've got quite a good chance. I think there's been quite a lot of penalties so far in this tournament as well. So he got the first goal. And you had João Felix, he scored. He was, I'll go to the team lineup in a minute, but he started. And then I think it's Rafael Leao. He came on as a substitute, but he pretty much scored straight away after coming on. So they were the goal scorers. But yeah, Ronaldo at 7 million. So I had the plan to pretty much rotate the premium strikers. But with Portugal and Brazil playing on the same day today, and I had all five teams, I trying to make them a little bit different. So pretty much half my team I bought Ronaldo and half I bought Neymar, who we'll go on to in a minute. But Ronaldo was the one that delivered today. So he's 7 million. João Felix was 4 million, and Leao was 4.5, who seems quite expensive, really. But the only thing to note as well, I put in the defence. So you had, not many points going around that defence, a lot of minus ones there. But Cancelo, I was having a chat with a few people, seeing was he good value at 6 million, but he didn't get anything in this game. -1, but he still managed a 6.8, and yeah, it's quite a high rating really, considering he conceded 2 goals, but that's just because you get so involved in the play. But he was subbed off, and then Pereira was the only rating in defence, so he got bang on a 7. Ruben Neves, he got nothing, and also Bernardo Silva got nothing, who both started the game. But yeah, one thing I did put though, towards the end, Portugal really were a shambles at the back, so yeah, they've got a lot of goals or goal potential going forward, but in terms of their defence, they did look quite shaky. Oh, one last thing to add as well. If you hadn't seen the game, go back and watch the highlights in this one, because one of the Ghana, it was Ayew scored the first goal, but I think his name Bukhari got the second goal for them, and then he went and dropped the Sue celebration. And the camera panned straight to Ronaldo after. So yeah, check that one out. And here's just the starting lineup. So although I didn't think it's sort of went this way, I think who scored always sort of make these look a bit dodgy. But it was Ronaldo, João Felix, and I thought it was Bernardo Silva on the right wing. The midfield, Bruno Fernandes, Neves, and Otavio. Guerrero, Pereira, Diaz, Cancelo at the back, and then Costa in goal. Then on to the Brazil game. I was waiting a while for this one to see how they done, and they didn't disappoint. Although the first half it was a bit slow. They weren't really gelling too well, actually, Brazil. But the star man was Richarlison, and he was absolutely brilliant in that second half, especially. Scored, I don't know if it's quite a bicycle kick, but it was a really good acrobatic goal that he scored. He just turns into an absolute monster when he's playing for Brazil. So he got 2 goals in this game. Vinicius Junior got the assist, so 5 points for him. So 18 points for Richarlison and 5 points for Junior. You had Paqueta that I've got in a few teams, and actually I've got him in my vlog team, which we'll go on to. He got 3 points and a 7.1, no attacking returns. But like I did mention yesterday, he is quite a rotation risk, and he did get subbed off again. There's quite a common theme of him getting subbed off. Rafinha, he got the rating in this game, but he was quite quiet, I thought, watching this. And then Neymar's rating was really disappointing. I actually thought that looked a bit harsh. I was watching the game and I thought he was involved in quite a lot, and he was pretty much, he obviously didn't get the assist for it, but he was responsible for pretty much creating the first goal, I thought. Martin Keown absolutely hated him as well. Just any time he did a little flick or came in and got the ball and done a step over, Keown was just constantly groaning like proper old man. But yeah, he actually went off injured in the end, Neymar, which is a bit of a pain. I bought Neymar, and when I saw the lineups come out, I wanted to get a defender in there, and Danilo, it was sort of a toss-up between Sandro and Danilo. I went Danilo. Sandro was the one that got the rating, and for extra bonus, Danilo went off. He got injured, but they'd run out of subs already. So I actually bought in Neymar and Danilo, and both went off injured, so that was bad luck. So yeah, Sandro was the only rating out of that back line. But just one thing to note as well, the Brazil strength in depth is just crazy. Like, they brought Martinelli off the bench, Gabriel Jesus, Anthony, Rodrigo, and Fred, I think, came off the bench as well. So much depth in that team. It's probably, I'm not sure whether I think they were the best team. I still think Spain probably looked the best, or Brazil were really impressive. But that second half from Brazil was really impressive. Let us know below who you think so far has been the best team of the tournament. But it's probably between either Brazil, Spain, or France for me. And then just this is the starting lineup they had on who scored. So Richarlison started up front, Rafinha on the right, Neymar through the middle. And actually, I was quite surprised that I don't watch that much of Neymar, to be honest. And he was dropping really quite deep. I did see that he'd been playing at number 10, but he was really coming deep and collecting the ball. So that did surprise me a little bit. Then Vinicius on the left, which we said yesterday, they didn't have him in their predicted lineup, which I thought was silly. But yeah, he came on and played really well. Casemiro and Paqueta playing in those sort of deep roles. Sandro, Thiago Silva, Marquinhos and Danilo as the backline with Alisson in goal. So then tomorrow's games, so we've got this is the part where we'll do a quick preview of the tomorrow's games, looking at the best players to target. So you've got Wales versus Iran, Qatar versus Senegal, Netherlands versus Ecuador, and England versus the USA. So we'll start with Wales. I haven't got that much here because I'm really not going to recommend bringing in Wales players, to be honest with you. But if you're going to do it, Gareth Bale is the obvious choice, really. He's 5 million, he's on penalties, and he got 12 points last game. Probably their most dangerous player, and everything pretty much revolves around him in that team. But I did mention Kiefer Moore at 2.5 million. He came on against the USA and pretty much changed the game. That first half they were really quiet, but with his aerial threat, I think he could be quite a good option, because when we played Iran, Harry Maguire was having a really good time from corners, and they were really making a bit of a cock up with quite a lot of the crosses and set pieces. So potentially Kiefer Moore, he's absolutely massive, so he could be a good target man. But really, I'm not going to be going near any of these players. And if you were looking at the clean sheet from this game, I still just think there's better options out there. Maybe Senegal versus Qatar. And then on to that game, actually. So Senegal, Qatar. Qatar were terrible in that opening fixture. And really, I can't see them being much better. If they do come out and try and prove a point because they didn't play well in the last game, I think that's just going to open them up even more. Senegal have got quite a good team here as well, so I think probably the best option, if you did want to really go and attack Qatar, which I think is a brave strategy, I don't think I'll be doing it. If I do, it will only be probably one defender at most. I think that's what I did with Ecuador. But if you did want to be brave and go for like the block or anything like that, like some people did at the start, I think Koulibaly's probably the best option. I'm probably saying that because he's the most well known as well. But obviously their keeper for Qatar was absolutely flapping at crosses. I think that first goal that got ruled out, he was just absolutely nowhere near it. And then I think one of Valencia's goals was a header as well. So yeah, maybe Koulibaly could be a good option from the back, and then he could be a bit dangerous from corners. But other than that, I'd say probably Ismail Assar. He's only 3 million. He's down as a midfielder, so he could be a good option. He's got 6 goals and 4 assists in the Championship for Watford. But that's it from that game. I still wouldn't be overly keen on targeting it, but Qatar were pretty poor in the last round. And then Netherlands versus Ecuador. So I'm not actually sure how I think this game is going to go. Obviously, Netherlands will be the favourites, but yeah, Ecuador are a pretty tough team to break down. I think they're quite good defensively, so it'll be quite an interesting game. But I think Netherlands should get it done, and Memphis Depay should be coming back. So this is the predicted starting lineup from who scored. But as you've probably seen from a lot of these videos, they're not completely accurate. They're good if someone's out injured. They normally highlight that sort of thing, but they never really do get it 100% right. But Memphis Depay was injured or not completely fit for the last fixture, but he did come on as a sub. I'd expect that he will probably start this game. So he's 5.5 million, and he's another penalty taker, so always a good option. And he's actually, I had a look, and he's 8 goals away from beating Robin van Persie's all-time Netherlands scoring record. So I'm sure he'll be eager to try and break that. Doubt he'll get 8 in this tournament, though. That's a bit of an ask. And then I mentioned him a bit earlier, Noppert at 2 million. That's a massive bargain there. And he's got quite a solid defence in front of him. I didn't think, obviously Ecuador did do well against Qatar, but this is going to be a completely different game. And then I mentioned Valencia scoring a header in the last game. He was limping about for a while. They've highlighted Valencia as being a doubt for this game. Enner Valencia, that used to play for West Ham. So we'll wait and see if he starts. But if he's out, it will look quite good for the defence of Holland. And then onto the defence. So Dumfries, I'd say, is probably the best option. I didn't start with him in a lot of my teams because I thought I wasn't 100% sure if he was back from injury or not. He had like a knee injury that he limped off in the last, I think his last club game of the season before the World Cup. But he started anyway, and he didn't get a rating, but at 4.5 million, he's by far their most attacking defender, so a good option there. And then Cody Gakpo, lastly, 4 million. He scored in the last game, and he's posted really good numbers for PSV this season. Then we have the big game of the evening, so England versus the USA. That's the last kickoff, and Harry Kane should be fit to start this game, they're saying. He got 2 assists in the last game, but he hasn't scored yet, so hopefully he can get off the mark. I'm going to look to bring him in quite a lot of my teams, probably at the expense of Neymar again now. Now he limped off. So yeah, I still think that's quite a good option. Then they haven't all fired, but you've had Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, all of those guys have delivered from the sort of premium bracket so far. So yeah, I'm going to go with Kane, and hopefully he can get his first goal of the tournament. And then Maguire, so he went off. They said it was like dizzy. I think it looked like a bit of a head injury, but it was after they scored a goal, and Southgate said that it was illness after, and someone else said it was dizziness. But apparently he's back for this game. He's fully recovered, so he's 4 million, and I really liked the look of him in that game. So he was really dangerous from corners, and we've got some really good corner takers in Shaw and Trippier. So yeah, I'm going to bring Maguire in quite a few of my teams, and I probably will try and double up on England for this fixture. So USA only sort of put 1 goal past Wales. I know we conceded 2 to Iran, but I'd like to think that we can keep a clean sheet against Wales. So I think I'm going to probably go for maybe 2 England defenders. So either Maguire and Shaw or Maguire and Trippier. I think Trippier's a really good one to put in your team. He's a bit more expensive at 4.5 million. But it's 32% owned. So if you are looking to try and finish as high as you can in the sort of overall leaderboards, with 32% of people owning him, he's someone that you kind of need to have, or you will lose out to people. And then at 5.5 million, you've got Sterling, or 5 million, you've got Saka. So obviously Saka played really well in the last game, and I think we got like a 9 rating or 9.2. But Sterling did get a goal as well, so obviously with recency bias you probably would say Saka looked like the best option, but personally I think I'd still go for Sterling over him. I just think historically he's a better finisher overall, and he's got a much better England record, but by no means do I think Saka's a bad pick. He was really good, and I'm an Arsenal fan as well, so always great to see him do well. Right, then the last bit of this video, so we'll just look at my vlog team. Again, I'll make all 5 teams, but I'm just going to post the same one in my videos the whole way through, so you can follow the journey of how it's doing. And it wasn't too well today, so only 8 points for the day. 71 points overall, not terrible. Only 6 transfers used as well. So I've got a few different strategies with the 5 teams that I'm using. Some of them I'm being a bit more aggressive. Others, like this one, I'm trying to not go too crazy, although I did get suckered into bringing in 2 Brazilian players here, but I think 24 left out of 30 is okay. But my moves today were Neymar and Danilo in for Alba and Mbappe. So Neymar for Mbappe was the premium swapping that I was on about, and that one didn't work out. So a big fat 0 for Neymar, which was really disappointing, and 5 for Danilo, which I'll take that. But again, I bought 2 Brazil players in, and both of the ones that I bought in went off injured, so not very good luck there. But I'll start from the back to the front here. So I've got Simon in goal. Obviously didn't play. I've got Trippier, Ake and Luke Shaw. I didn't want to take any of those out because they are playing tomorrow. So when I am making the moves, I'm trying to just make sure that I don't take out anyone that I'm going to need to bring back in straight away. Then I've got Paqueta. I'm fairly happy with that, like 3 points, and the rating's okay. Perisic and Højbjerg, though, I'm not really happy with them at all. And Højbjerg, I was looking at 3 mil. I think I could get potentially Asensio, and he plays France in the next game, so I'm probably not going to want him for there. So I'll probably look to move Højbjerg on next. But Perisic with Canada in his next game, they did look good, but that could be a potential good fixture for him. Then I've got Messi, so I'm probably going to just leave Messi for the time being. That fixture against Mexico isn't too far away. We've got Gakpo playing tomorrow. And of course, Neymar, I just said I'll probably take him out for Kane, seeing as he's injured. I did just see, just before I'd done this video, actually, I had a look on Twitter. And they showed a picture of his ankle. He took his sock and boot off as he went off. And his ankle was so fat. So yeah, I'm starting to wonder whether or not he'll play that next game. Yeah, so that's my vlog team. And then I just put a note here. My best team I've got, it's not far off really, so 71 points for this current team here, and the best team that I've got at the minute is sitting on 85 points. But yeah, do comment below with how your team's getting on and how many points you've got so far in the overall leaderboard. Maybe put how many transfers you've got left as well, because that gives you a bit more perspective. That is everything for that episode, so that's another match day recap in the bag. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully after England have won their game against the USA. But if you're liking this content so far, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, and if you're listening on Spotify as well, please do give us a follow on there. We'll be back with more team updates, players to target and top performers. But we'll see you on the next one. Bye.